you've built a space and you've made beers that are super inclusive, and that's with great intent.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. For us, it's beyond just tasting the beer. You have to experience the beer because you have to experience the spirits behind it, and then just the love and the family. We are completely family owned and operated. Our cousins, her brother, my cousin, our other cousin, Erica, her husband, we all work this tap room.
Was it important for it to be in Bronzeville?
Yes, it was. Just like Steve has said, there aren't really any other breweries on the south side. So it was very important for us to have something that we love in our neighborhood, because why not? You know, there's hundreds of tap rooms and stuff in the Chicagoland area, and they're all north and not in this area. So it was very important for us to create something for our community, in our community.
Marlene is that's the party beer.
Yes.
Okay, help me understand what the flavors are.
Yeah, so
what style is that?
Marlene is a triple, a Belgian triple.
Okay, Marlene was a party. All right.
So yeah, it's a blood orange triple. So we kind of wanted to play with that flavor profile. You know, a lot of Belgian beers are associated with like citrus notes, kind of orange citrus notes more specifically. And so what we wanted to do is be just a little bit different and carry that citrus note forward by actually putting blood orange in it.
We've had the great fortune to visit hundreds of breweries.
Yeah.
Peanut butter, basil, and jalapeno IPA.
Yeah.
What in the wide world is going on with that?
That is what we affectionately call our PB&J IPA for peanut butter, basil, and jalapeno.
Jalapeno, love it, love it.
When we were thinking about the style, we knew we kind of wanted to go towards like an imperial type style IPA.
So you're getting heat and the savory and then the little spicy.
Yeah, so kind of how it hits your palate is you're gonna get the sweet from the peanut butter. You're gonna smell the earthiness from the basil, and then you're gonna finish with the pepper from the jalapeno. But what I love about it the most, the jalapeno plays with the hops perfectly. So it almost can trick people into thinking I don't taste the jalapeno because it catches up with the hops and carries the hop flavor forward.
Right.
But it's actually what you're really tasting is the jalapeno.
Helen, of course, we've talked about. That's
Grapefruit
the
lager.
one that started it all.
Yep.
Marlene is the blood orange Tripel. Eliza.
Eliza is
Who was Eliza, and
I'll let
what
you
is
take that
Eliza?
one.
Yeah, so Eliza was the true matriarch of our family. She was the one that everyone went to for everything, the person you had to talk to get the okay to proceed with whatever big thing that you're doing, and the person that was going to be honest and give you an honest opinion on whatever you were doing. She was the matriarch of our family. And so Eliza is a Saison. It's a cherry, we use cherry spirals cherry oak spirals in the Saison, and it is really has a beautiful finish.
What a great way to keep a memory and a legacy alive by making, and the people that made you happy are now making complete strangers happy.
It's a blessing.
That's great.
It's a blessing.
God forbid something happens to me. Can I tell you what I'd like to do?
You can.
We'll do that. We'll do that off air. It's Turner Haus here on the south side of Chicago. Steven and Blair, thank you so much.
Pleasure.
Thank you for having us.
Cheers.
Cheers.
At the pilot project, this is like a brewing incubator. So the idea is that there are different breweries that are all working behind the scenes. More on that in a moment. But the brewery that we're most excited about visiting here, out of all of them, is Funky Town. So joining me are Rich and Zach, and we're here to talk about it, talk about it, talk about it. How many times do you guys hear that?
A lot.
Yeah.
A lot. Talk about it.
Right?
hear you.
I mean, you had to know it was coming.
Yeah.
Funky Town Brewing. Now, you're here at this incubator and you've been here for a while. I guess let's get started talking about like how this all started. How did Funky Town get started?
So Funky Town's like a story of friendship. So I've known Zach, who's my twin today, since 7th grade.
And they've been friends for so long that they dress alike. Isn't that something else?
Isn't that something?
Yeah, right?
And my other friend, other co-founder, Greg, since 4th grade. We went to school together, high school together, we went to college together, Grambling State University.
Wow, so you're thinking, I'm gonna bring as much of Chicago down to Louisiana with me so I don't get homesick. And then from there, you graduate, you come back home, obviously.
Yep.
And then how does it become Funky Town?
So, I mean, we come home and like craft beer is booming, like Goose Island, Revolution, Half Acre, and we gravitated towards that, you know. But we were always the only black people in that space, like bringing craft beer around, but people were always curious, like, hey, why are you guys into it? Front end versus back end taste, aromatics, beer style, the label. So like we were doing outreach and we realized like there's a lot of people that are into beer, just diverse groups, black people, women, Hispanic people, they just don't know anything about it.
Right.
So we're just putting in that work, that outreach to understand their palate and better serve them.
I mean, I imagine that guys that look a lot like me are into craft beer because that's where the outreach is. Like, there's not that sort of outreach, or at least not on the scale that there is for the white community as there is for African Americans.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. Like, craft breweries aren't in black neighborhoods. You don't necessarily see craft beer on the store shelves in black neighborhoods. So, you have less owners, manufacturers of craft beer, and less drinkers of craft beer on that side. You just kind of feel like implicitly left out. But the thing is, like, you know, we could just break down that barrier by putting in that outreach.
What sort of assumptions do you think people in the market might make about Funky Town when they learn that it's an African American owned brewery? Right or wrong assumptions?
People might assume that the beer might not be up to quality because they've never experienced a black brewer before. Right. So they might think that, you know, we're just kind of out here playing around, and not that we actually have the education and also the years of home brewing before that to really like dial in.
When we were first starting on home brewing, right, people didn't kind of take us serious as far as what we were truly trying to do until we made like those huge steps in getting what we wanted to go, right? And so I think that the number one misconception that can come along with that is, hey, they don't know what they're doing, or the beer again is being subpar. Because being the brewer, like, I didn't have anybody behind me teaching me how to brew. My dad didn't brew, my grandfather didn't brew. Like, I didn't have anybody within the system being able to show me how to do that. So I think that that can come off as a misconception. And again, we're here to kind of debunk that.
Our pale lagers, our collaboration with Sam Adams.
To collaborate with Samuel Adams, that's a thing, huh?
It's a thing.
How does that happen?